Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Sunday, May 22nd, 2016. There's a mouse cursor. There we are. Okay, so we are continuing where we left off. I'll show you that. So where we left off, we tried to... Okay, so... we try to have the tile bump up to knock the piece in the air, so it would be like a, you know... like a fireworks sort of thing, you know? Whee, boo, right, sort of thing. That didn't work out as planned, and the reason why is because the tiles, for performance reasons, because we have thousands of them, were set to be stationary, so when their lighting is calculated, it's calculated in the editor once, not in the game per frame, right? So you save a lot of performance by doing that, but it also means you can't move it. So you can't even do that little jump because it won't work. You need to have it dynamic, you'd have to change the lighting model, and so forth. So we instead had it so that way the piece would just explode on its own on the tile, and that will have some issues that we can easily fix, but yeah, as you'll see, and if you were watching the end of last stream, you would have seen, basically the chess piece disappears too quickly, so the particle system gets despawned before it's finished. That's not too hard, we just need to give a longer timeout, right? So we get our move, and we can select this. And see how it despawns too quick? That means we need to have a bit more time for the smoke to clear. And that's set in our animation thing here, where we set a delay. Delete this, or I'll remove the breakpoint. I think maybe it's in here? Yeah, I do. Okay. Yeah. So my current delay is 1 second. That's clearly too short a time. So we will have it be 2 seconds. because when we have is animating finish, which is when update locations has occurred, and that's when it's despawned. So the instigating piece, when it decides, hey, I want to move, is when, or when I finish moving, is when it tells the piece to despawn. So if we do a compile, oh, I actually don't have the chat up. There we are. And again, this will probably not end up being in the final game. I'll probably have something a bit more not stable, but a bit more reasonable, I guess. Okay, it needs to be a bit more. There needs to be a bit more, or I need to modify the particle system to make it decay a bit quicker. Actually, I don't really want to touch with Epic's nice particle system, so I'll just keep adding a bit more time. So 2 seconds is too long. And again, it's not on every move, it's only on moves that kill. Let's do 3. I'm inclined to do 2.5, but we'll try 3 for now. Whoops. How's everyone's day? Ending the weekend. Well, it was gonna be a long weekend actually for most people in North America, but I think Americans have a holiday on Monday as well. That works. Let's try it again because it's fun to watch things explode. And the rest of them will happen immediately. It's only kill moves that cause explodey deaths. Let's actually bring the queen over. She'll what? That was the bug, by the way. I accidentally hit spacebar before that was done. And let's just go on a rampage. Here we are. Alright. We'll do a get shell. I really need to get rid of or add those to my ignore. Okay, and then I'm going to open up. I don't have it there. So I guess we'll do load up Visual Studio Code, open file, see Unreal Projects, check it, get ignore, there we are. And let's see here. And what was Get constant complaining about? .vs. Let's see what it even looks like. Oh, it's literally a folder called .vs. Here. And let's, you know, before we get too happy with modifying our get ignore, let's actually close it down. If I can click the button correctly. And let's open up and debug and do some hot reloads. Because those will trigger, in debug at least, those should trigger the other like ENC folder, I think it's called. I don't want to modify. So let's do a delay of 0.2, then do a hot reload, then again do put it back to 3. Nope, just .vs. I'll have to. Up here, right? Okay, .vs is gone, but get ignore is added. So get add dot get ignore, get commit and fixed hot reload or added. Updated ignore. That'll be good for now. Then we'll leave Visual Studio Code in the AI monitor in case I need to open up a previous project file. Particularly since I'm going to be doing possibly AI today. I would want to see our previous AI code because even though the actual movement selection I didn't really like because it was, you know, buggy. It was functional at least. It was a good example of multi-threading basically. So yeah, right. I guess what I can do is start getting rid of, or continue getting rid of old comments. Okay. Hello, Josh. Welcome to the chat. I am programming a game called Check It. So, before I get started, before I show you what we have right now, I'm going to show you an old version that we were working on last year. To give you a bit of an idea what's going on, and I'll show you what we got so far, even though they're pretty close these days. We're close to what we had. So this is a game you may know. Basically looks like chess, right? But there is a couple differences. First off, because there is no forward direction, they can move in any different direction. I'm making a horror game called Beyond the Darkness. Nice. So yeah, and so forth. And you think that's fine and dandy. It's just a little bit different from Chess Seed to Point. Well, the point is that there's now design levels, so you can have whatever level you want, including this guy, which is a much larger than 8x8 grid. And you can only control what's near the king. So these knights. Well, people say next gen chess or pro chess or whatever. It's actually kind of a bit of a regression. The thing that makes chess very very interesting is that since there's an 8x8 grid and there's only a handful, like everyone starts the same and so forth. If you get really good at chess, you can learn a lot of interesting little meta games that happen from that board, like how you control a center, certain moves that occur, whatever. I'm not really good at chess, surprisingly. I used to play as a kid, but I didn't really take it seriously. But it has an interesting mechanic in that you really cannot ever see any there's way too many possible games in existence for any person to see. But grandmasters have seen a lot of, almost all of the possible metas, because when you do certain moves, it baits your opponent to do certain moves and back and forth, right? So people get used to it. The thing is, once you change levels, because it's no longer an 8x8 grid, all that goes out the window. So it kind of regresses the skill level substantially. So it's a bit more of a casual way to have chess, because you can get really good at one map, learn all the metas for it. You're not going to spend hundreds of years on it like people who play chess will, but... well, not collectively. Collectively, humanity has spent hundreds of years perfecting the art of chess. Whereas for this, you play the level, a little while later, levels change, it's completely different. And there'll be some similarities, like you can see if you have a corridor, you can have a rook there or whatever. And there's also going to be some power-ups as well. Like one thing I want to have happen is if you play a card on the knight, you'll get a special move where you can actually make instead of the knight moving in an L, you can make the knight charge forward and kill whatever's in its path. Make a Crash Bandicoot themed map, and I will love you. I can't legally do that. I'm actually thinking of the art style being a bit more kind of solid shaded, but I do like Easter eggs. I'll say that much. So yeah, yeah. So anyway, you can charge forward and kill anything in the line. But since this is again based on Unreal Engine 4, I got a physics engine, so what I'm hoping to do is that when you hit pieces along the charge, they will fly off and fly through the air. And if they hit anything else, that will also die, because they only knock it on, whatever. And, you know, it'll be kind of cutesy in the cartoony, humorous art style. But you can end up having, like, you know, someone set up a perfect shield of their army, being careful to guard the king, and someone charges a knight through, bowls a pawn into the king, and you lose. Or you lose that chunk of the army because there's multiple kings. Based on the map layout, whatever. So anyway, so now here we have, again, all of these are in range, so I can move the queen anywhere in this range up to that range, but I can't select these knights because they're out of range. Slapstick next generation chess, okay. Slapstick comedy is something I can respect. Anyway, if you move the king, you're moving the range over. In both directions, you're actually losing a range over here, but you're getting it over here, and now you can access the knight. That one, but not this one, because you need to move it one further over still, until it's in range. But now you can. And yes, I made the bridge on stream, I made the level on stream, but I didn't make the walls and all that stuff. This is all Infinity Blade. That's tutorial. These are Infinity Blade assets down there, the road. That's Infinity Blade, that's Infinity Blade. These are polypixel. But anyway, where it all came from doesn't really matter that much. But yeah, it's this is the old version. We decided, so that one was locked to 1 versus AI, and I didn't realize how bad I actually programmed it. For example, I was validating everything to the game mode, and the game mode's only on the server, so the client wouldn't be able to play the game. So it was locked to 1 versus AI. I wanted to, not so good at 3 modeling, it's something you learn and you have to do, right? Like, for everything, when you want to do something, you're gonna be bad at it for a while. The point is to have goals to strive to that will pull you over the hump, right? In school, I have a background in education. When you are a teacher, you create a syllabus and you create a curriculum for the students to give them goals that are easy enough to attain while still meeting the stuff you're supposed to teach, and structured in a way that it's in milestones that people can keep moving forward, and you motivate them with grades, right? That's really all you can do because, well, you have 2 motivations, grades, and it's illegal to not be there. So you have 2 ways of moving students forward. When you have your own projects, whatever age you are, you know, 29, 30, whatever you're, you know, at any point in your life, instead of grades, whatever intrinsic value you have in seeing the project through is your motivation. And for the curriculum, as long as you're learning reasonable steps and you're able to not get discouraged to the point where you quit, then you're doing exactly the same thing that teachers do to teach you a subject. So you don't, people are like, oh, I have to go to school for this. No, you don't. It helps, especially if you need the structure, and for certain things like hard math, not like, you know, for math in general, sort of, it's good to have the structure and have the experts to tell you what you're doing because it's pretty structured. But especially for like artistic things or creative things or whatever, you can do it yourself if you can keep yourself motivated. The fear, though, is that you get discouraged and quit. As long as you don't do that, if you're gonna get there, you're eventually gonna get there. Then you also have the problem of what am I not learning, right? Because when you're doing stuff by yourself, you're only learning what you care about at a time. Well, what if you need something that you never needed for that project? That gets to be a different subject. But if you're not good at 3D modeling, keep working, right? As long as you have the motivation to keep yourself from giving up, you're good. And hopefully the thought of I'm not good at 3D modeling is not the motivation or the demotivation you need to quit, right? So just if you want to do it, keep going past it. You're gonna have moments where you're gonna want to like punch punch a small animal, right? But you'll be fine. You'll go through it, right? So anyway, that was that. This is what we have now. So what I want Check It to be like is so what I want Check It to be like is very user customizable. Each map will have a set number of spawns, and actually I'll show you the before I start the game, I'll show you what the map would look like. So a test level. So this is just a generic map. It's a test level. Use Roblox Studio to make a map for your game. The game is mostly images because it's point and click. Oh, cool. If it works, right? So you see there's this is a test level. Why is my mouse not going so fast? Whoa, that's too far. Right. I wanted faster, but not that fast. Okay. So you see here, here's the spawn 1. Spawn 1's triggered by a game start, which has player start tag of 1. And all of these pieces... here, check it settings. Oh, okay. So, yeah, I need to hide all of these. Have a spawn number and a control range. The king has a control range of 8, which makes all those pieces around it controllable. Everything else, at least so far, has a control range of -1, because they control nothing. They have to have the king to control them. I may at some point have a piece that has that's not the king that gives control, but for now I'm just sticking to the typical chess pieces. But all of these, and actually this guy over here, are all linked to spawn number 1. These guys are linked to spawn number 2. So whoever controls spawn 2 will control these 6 pieces and spawn there. Whoever controls spawn 1 on this test level will control these 6 pieces and this one piece, even though there's nothing to control it out here. And spawn at this location. If I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 spawns, in the menu there will be 10 spawn slots, and you can assign whoever you want to it. You can assign basically all of the spawns to one single player, and they would control all of those pieces. Associated with all the spawns, and it would just choose the first spawn in the list to make the camera appear. Stream keeps buffering. Sorry about that. I'm sitting about 2.5 megabits, and obviously when you have small Twitch streams, they don't do a lot to optimize the video. But yeah, so you can end up having in a menu like this. You can assign, you know, a bunch of, you can disable a spawn, but you can also assign a bunch to a single player. Give them multiple teams as well, so they actually be playing against themselves, if you want. On this level, though, the only one that works is spawn 1 and 2. So in this case, we're going to have the team spawn in the other one here. So we have all of these pieces. And this guy over here is in the middle of nowhere. We can't control it. It's all the way over there. We can move our king up to get it there. And eventually get it back, but by that time the realistically, the other team would have killed it by now if the AI didn't just give up its turn. If we play it from the air perspective, though, then we're gonna have spawn from the air side. So if we make the AI be spawn 1, and the player be spawn 2, and we'll make it still a different side. So I'll still be gold team. So from here, I can easily just kill this piece here, and this is where the other team spawned. So where I spawned last time was here. So I can just grab this and kill it. And there we go. And that's the concept of the game. So it's basically like chess, but a bit more casual. Design levels. Doesn't really take itself seriously. But if it's fun, right? And I'll even allow game modes, like I said, where you can have 3 players. Player 1 on team 1, player 2 on team 2, and player 3 has some spawns in team 1, some spawns in team 2 if you want. Or it could be free for all or whatever. But if the player has 2 spawns on the other side, they can just troll if they want, right? That's their choice. I mean, it'll be easy to grief if that's the case. However, you set up the game that way. It was your round. You chose a non-competitive map system. Have fun, right? If you don't have fun, then you should have chose that. For like pub matches and stuff like that, it would be mostly competitive matches where it'd be like 1 versus 1, 2v2 or whatever. But if you want to just have fun and have one guy troll, do it. Right. I'm not going to stop you. I'm actually going to go to painstaking lengths of making the game not break if you try, right? That's hard, but yeah. So I'll actually delete this. And this chunk here is gone. And that should be good for that. So let's try the other thing here. So player controller. I'll just to do what do I do. Oh yeah, that's a long to do out. Okay. I think this actually be fun. Jumping around a map with a mouse. And we're gonna set up AI. That will probably be started this stream, so you caught me on the day I'm gonna start, or try to at least. Just after I finish up some comment cleaning. Okay. So I can delete this here. That was a test code. I don't need it anymore because I have it linked into the move system now. I kind of fixed that. I do need to fix that, but I'm not going to deal with it just now. It's a simple fix, but you know. Oh, I need to validate with current player. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that right now. It's an annoying fix. Oh, it's a player controller. Oh, that's an easy fix then. Okay. So let's quickly check and see if there's any more comments. The callback is done. So yeah, this stream is when we're going to work on the AI, I think. That's been done. So the idea behind this as well is that this game is mostly designed to be made. Well, this game is not the product per se. The stream is. So I have it set up where anything that's done on the game will be done on a stream, and then all of this will be put on YouTube. I do that every day, about 5 days a week, I should say. And then game mode, I think that's done. Yeah, that's good. This is not entirely correct, but it's good for now. This has now been broadcasted, so that should be good. So now we're just going to quickly build to make sure I didn't accidentally delete a semicolon or something. And it looks like it runs. After this, we'll start an AI. Assuming, of course, this doesn't crash. Okay, we're good. So I'll commit this. Okay. So last time as in like last year, the first check that we did, AI was set up like this. So when it was the AI's turn to be called, the game mode would call a function, I think it was FChessAIRunnable, that would run on a separate thread. So the main thread goes through all the inputs, sets up the frame, kicks off the frame to be drawn, and it keeps crunching each frame over and over and over again. Kick off a GPU, draw the frame, sleep till the next frame, start again, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it would do it however many times per second, either until you are V-synced or you're limiting yourself, you're like putting back pressure on the engine to say, okay, listen, you're going too fast. Or until the engine takes up 100% of your CPU, and you're screwed, right? So either of those cases, they would keep going over and over and over again. That's all on one core. Certain tasks will then branch out to other cores, which is kind of what we're doing right now. So it's still doing the crunch, you know, draw sort of thing. But for the AI, in that crunch, it'll say, it's the AI's turn now. Start an AI task. So now there's another thread over here, which is going to be crunching on its own thing, trying to find out what the best move is. In the meantime, the game's still crunching and drawing frames, so you don't have a user interface hiccup. You don't have any, this program failing to respond or any crap like that. Even if this takes, 3 minutes to run, even though it's not that far, you won't have any hitches because all you did is set up a queue. And on each queue, you just then wait and be like, do I have an answer yet? No. 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 And eventually you will have an answer. And then you just play that that's move, if it validates. If it doesn't validate, your AI is pretty broken, isn't it? Yeah. So you have that, chunk. So what we did last time was, last year, whatever, is we had it where it was the kick off a thread. This thread starts crunching, the game's still drawing the frames, and then respond with the answer. We're gonna copy that structure, but not the actual payload code itself. The payload code, we're gonna do that again. So here we're gonna open up our last times. So it's archive old UE4 projects, check it. Source, check it. Let's just select the folder as source. There we are. And now Visual Studio Code is crunching. Oh, it's already done? Oh, let's get this. Okay. FChessAIRunnable, yeah. So and then the Explorer I'll shut down. So I create a structure for the movement and all that sort of stuff. That's all irrelevant for this one. We'll not deal with it like that. But we do need some of the things in here to to make it work. I had a lot of helper functions. You can give a link in the chat, sure. You do not need a... Some people set up their Twitch page to block links. I do not. Which actually kind of bit me once because someone tried to put a virus in there. So, but still, it's fun. So put a link and I'll even check it on stream. If it's, family friendly, right? And by family friendly, I mean like, PG-13 or so. So yeah, this was our last AI code. Let's actually give me a line it was. It was 4,500 or 4,900 lines. Yikes. I mean, a lot of that will be smaller this time because the last AI... One of the problems with the last version of the game is that the movement validation code was in 3 or 4 different places, and they were all written at different times. So there was some issues keeping them together. Made a trailer in Movie Maker, nice. Yeah, so my job actually is I work for a computer website, so actually I have a... Oh, there we are. So the link came in. I'm gonna copy the link. I'm gonna open up my streaming browser. I have multiple Firefox instances. Should I show that? Yeah, I probably shouldn't. As the weather of where I live on my start screen, so. Okay, so let's mute this just in case there's any copyright music being played. I see it has your name and a voice actor's name on the page. Do you mind if I show that on stream? I assume you don't mind because you put it in a public page, but since I can ask you, I'm going to ask you before I just do it, right? Because if not, I can leave it private, in case you know. I see you published it in March. Nice. Turn the music back on. So do you mind if I show the page on stream, even though it has your name on it? It's fine, okay, cool. So here it is. This is the game that Josh D J10H4 showed. There we are. Interesting apartment. I'm getting Five Nights at Freddy vibes from that image. Nice. So, welcome to Arbor. Is it Arbora Town or is it Arbor a town? That has been abandoned for the past 10 years. Oh, so a town, okay. This town holds a lot of spirit activity, and you're going to be able to investigate one of these houses. I left Fred some instructions for you. I've investigated the place myself, and I know most behaviors of the spirits. Anyways, I hope it's some fun and educational for you. Good luck. Arbor, a town with plenty of stories. You play as a rookie paranormal investigator on his first go. Okay, Josh DJ 104. Okay. Oh, the O is 0H 104. Okay. On its first go, as you go through, you start to learn more about the town's background. Sign the boss. This game will introduce the original gameplay mechanics, consisting of things like communicating with spirits using EVP and a K2, getting images of spirits, and a lot more. If this game gets a decent amount of audience, I'll make more games to continue the series. Arbor. Okay, cool. In development, not currently playable. Oh, the page was published on March 7th. Okay. Cartoon violence, realistic violence, anime, bloodshed. Cool. Interesting game. So for check it, now what we need to do is we need to create a new C++ class. Whoops, put the assign the boss in the wrong spot. It happens. FAIRunnable. Or FRunnable. Crummy. I guess this means we'll need to create empty C++ class. I think that's what we had to do last time. The trailer has no copyright stuff. Yeah, I'm still, well, I'll play it through once first before I put it on stream, then I'll check it. There we are. Hey, I feel like this is gonna be a jump scare, isn't it? Yeah, it's gonna be a jump scare, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'll probably put a jump scare on my stream. Okay, let's go back. Whoops, nope, wrong one. Here. So I'll have to do an empty class here. Let's do AIRunnable. Runnable. Here. Let's create that class, sure. Okay, hot reload complete, all that sort of stuff. Let's actually see get status. Okay, so just add says. AIRunnable.h over here. Class check AI, API, AIRunnable. FAIRunnable. FRunnable. Static FAIRunnable singleton FRunnable red do we need to add anything? No, we just need to add why don't I need check it at H here, but check it H there. Oh, maybe I just added it. No, I don't know. Well, we'll see. Well, it hot reloaded fine, so you know. Maybe build tool starts adding it now. Okay. Okay, so we're looking here right now. I'll move my webcam to the other side because there's more important stuff on this side. So constructor and destructor, constructor and destructor. We want it virtual for some reason. And it was F. So FAIRunnable, FAIRunnable. The AI runnable we had earlier took the game mode as a constructor. Huh. That was a convenience thing. That was so I wouldn't have to do a game mode search each frame or whatever. I don't think I want to do that anymore, though. We'll see. FRunnable interface. Oops. So we're over here. Virtual bool init. Virtual uint 32 run. Virtual void stop. Void ensure completion. Static FAIRunnable spawn worker. So since this is a side thread, and it's for AI, so it'll do it every turn. Probably what I'm going to do is, instead of creating a new runnable thread each turn, I'll just have one that's always, it's always crunching. But when it provides data, I will sleep the thread, so I'll make it stop. And on each AI's turn, to start the data, I'll kick it off then, right? So it'll always be created, it'll always be there, but it'll be sleeping until it's an AI turn, and it'll turn on. That makes sense. Trust me on that, it makes sense. F thread. Save counter. Stop task counter. Static void shutdown. Static bool is thread finished. Void begin AI. And the other stuff down here, like, eval confidence, invalid in combat, all that sort of stuff, that's all stuff I'm going to have to redo. Okie dokie, so, that's weird. So F-thread safe counter, stop task is complaining. That's a Unreal Engine thing, so why am I not receiving it? Hey, Argenini, not too bad. So what we did yesterday was make it so that way I can now make my moves. So we're now working on AI. So now we can, we can now play one-player game. I mean, without AI, just a very easy one-player game where the AI just lets you win. Oh yeah, I follow I Am Developer. I'm gonna copy a link. Even though I follow the account, I'm still gonna open it off screen. Quote, I've been using Vim for about 2 years now, mostly because I haven't figured out how to exit it. Yeah, some of these programs some of these editors are a bit convoluted. I can't eat this because it's out of range. I can get you. And now it's your time to die. And there's no score screen, like no win screen yet, so, quote, though Vim is better, I tend to use Notepad++ more. Yeah, so there's a big war going on between editors, and the funny part about the editor war is that it's all a personal choice for a lot of situations. There are some times where they force you to use one or the other because they have integration plugins and tools and stuff that rely on it, but yeah. So the thing with editors is I've tried a lot of different ones, and I hate something about every one of them. Construct 2 for the win. Nice. There's something I hate about all of them. It's funny because people are like, "Oh, when you're in an interview, talk about talking about interviewers' tasks." So ask people what their favorite editor is, and what you really want to know is what they like about it. And the thing is, for me, it's like what I hate about it. I tend to be a pretty positive person. I try to be, at least, but there's always something that annoys me about that sort of stuff. And part of it's because I see them all as tools, because they are tools. Because they're all tools, right? So if there's something that it just doesn't do, and it just doesn't do intuitively or something like that, it just nags and annoys you, right? Like basically all HTML editors out there don't have access to, for the code completion, to the entire web standard base, right? So I was trying Adobe Brackets, which is what I'm sticking on now for now. Tried Visual Studio Code for a bit, tried Notepad++, even though it doesn't do code completion. It doesn't intend to, at least. And Aptana Studio, and then when I tried, I used to use Notepad, like regular old Notepad, for a lot of stuff. Tried a lot of them, but I just didn't really like how a lot of those code completions work, because again, they didn't know stuff like, for example, I want to do stuff in a Web Audio API or a WebGL or WebCL. WebCL makes sense because no one's supporting it, not even the browsers anymore. But for WebGL, I want to have access to various functions or whatever. Well, doesn't have that, right? So I can't do code completion. So there's always just something that kind of ticks me off about a lot of them. Visual Studio ticks me off because it's slow. There's some plugins to make it faster, but I don't really want to spend $100 making Visual Studio faster when it should be like that, right? Maybe I will at some point, but who knows? Yeah, and really, it's whatever works. As Josh DJ 104 says, Construct 2 is enough to make my game. It's all whatever it is for you. If it's good, it's good. You may like Emacs. Lately, I've been doing most of the stuff in Visual Studio, but that's because a lot of my stuff is like Unreal Engine and stuff like that, where I kind of need to. But that's me. Okay, so now I have this set up. So now I need to translate this over to here. So looking at this here, we'll need to have set up. First off, I'm going to have it be FChessAIRunnable. Oh, I have caps lock on. Whoops. Now we need to do FChessAIRunnable, FChessAIRunnable singleton equals null. Don't like Construct 2 because of how limited it is. And then Josh DJ, Aaron GD said they don't like Construct 2 purely because of how limited it is, and Josh DJ 104 says they get you on that one. It's limited. I actually haven't used that one. I used a gedit at some point. It was funny when I try to get my girlfriend into well, not that I try to get my girlfriend into coding. I try to teach her basics coding, see if she likes it. If she likes it, not whatever, right? We have a bit of a problem though because her internet access is pretty terrible, but that's not important. But for an editor, I got her to use gedit. for it, so she liked it. Constitute the game engine and use HTML5. Okay. Thread equals FRunnable thread. Create this text. And what I have is here. Check its AI worker. 0 t pry normal. We should look at eThread priority. Let's see what we can have access to. So above normal, below normal, highest normal. I'd say probably below normal might be good for that, but. Yeah, let's just do normal for now. That'll be something we can mess with later. Okay, now the next thing we need to do is, now that we created a runnable thread in the constructor for memory management, because again, this isn't a standard C++ class. We don't have Unreal Engine's garbage collector inside here. We're doing everything ourselves. So we created a runnable thread. We now need to delete it. So delete thread, and thread equals null. That's a really weird way to highlight it. Oh, thanks. So they say they're loving the music. It's just Monster Cat, which is one of the few publishers that allows their music to go on Twitch and YouTube, including commercially, but you have to pay them a license fee, and I do. It's about $15 a month, which is more than I make from this, but you know. So bool FAIRunnable. Oh, that's right. Init. Return true. So this is runs at initialization. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with that. So this is when the actual thread's initialized from Unreal Engine. But the thing is, I don't need any. Well, maybe I will. Maybe I will put some. Yeah, so to do add classes that we need. That never change. Example, game state, game mode. So that will be run on the initialization of the thread. So that will be within the game. Yep. And over here, run. So uint FAIRunnable. Run F platform process sleep 01 why I do want to play with it. And return. Why are you complaining? Check it. Yeah, runnable. Oh. Okay, it was complaining because I didn't put a double colon in there. The experience with Python more? Yeah, I did a little bit in it. I know you're talking about yourself, but for Python, I did a little bit, because that's what Blender uses, and I decided to make a Blender add-on. Because one thing that really bugged me about 3D modeling is sometimes I want things to be mathematically in a lot, like planar, right? Coplanar. And it's hard to kind of mess with the vertex values to get them perfect on that, especially when you have a bunch of them. So I decided to make a little Blender plugin that added a tool that lets you select vertices and flatten them with that command into a plane, and then select another set of vertices and then flatten those to the first plane. So there's two use cases. Either if you have a bunch of vertices that are all kind of around, you can select them all, hit make coplanar, and it would flatten them out. Okay, well actually I use Maya. On a previous one I showed us here, I have an old copy of Maya 8, and that's like from 2006. So I used to use Maya. I started on Rhino 3D. I switched to Maya because Rhino 3D is a CAD program. But it was, high school. So anyway, when I went to college, I bought a educational license in Maya 8, and I used that throughout university to get good at 3D modeling. And then for me, it was, do I want to, because I want to do stuff commercially like this, like other video game stuff. Also, I'm doing some animation stuff for my job. Do I want to spend $3,000 or whatever it is, I think it's $3,500 at the time, to upgrade my license to a new commercial license? Or would $3,000 worth of man hours teach me Blender? So I was like, and then, however many, man hours required to buy the updates as they happen, right? Because Blender would always be free forever. They legally cannot make it free. they legally cannot make it not free. So yeah, I decided that it was best to go Blender, and honestly, it was a really good choice. I really like. I mean, Maya 8 from 2006. A lot happened in the last several years. We are now like 10 years behind this version right there. So 10 years happens. 10 years, a lot of things happens. Okay, so Blender. So the comment is Blender has a lot of weird irrelevant stuff, game stuff and physics and stuff. Kind of confusing stuff that you didn't really need to when you need models to import into another engine. That was from Danny McGee, not from Aaron Tuniti, which was the first person I was talking to. Well, let's just say Danny McGee dropped into the conversation and said that last quote. Blender is funny. It's actually pretty interesting because the developers all really have a different idea of what they want it to be, and they all make it what they want, right? Blender has a really interesting, let's see if I can run it. Blender has a really interesting paradigm for especially multi-monitor. So this is the basic Blender setup. And let's say I want to have a new window, I can just hold shift and drag it down and create a new window. And what does this window do? Whatever I want it to. So if I move my camera over to the side here, I now have a second viewport, so maybe I want to have this be a permanent camera view, so I can model in here and constantly, you know, see how it looks through my viewport. It seems like it's trying to compete with Unity and doing a really poor job. Dunno, I absolutely love the windowing stuff though. Yeah. So this is very interesting how they do it. Best sub-web infrastructure of any application I've ever used. Yeah. They're not just competing with Unity. As a matter of fact, they're from what I was hearing from some keynotes from I think his name's Ton Rosendahl, the guy who founded Blender. Blender game engine's kind of not getting the adoption they intended, to say the least. But they're still planning on using it. One thing they're trying to do with it is basically, instead of having, you know, they have this little viewport, you know, with the material and all that sort of stuff, and they can do OpenGL render. One thing they're talking about is possibly using a Blender game engine as an actual renderer engine, with all of the features of a video game. So even though it won't be, you know, cycles quality, ray trace, whatever, it will be as good of a quality as a game engine as they can make it. Which, if they do a really good job, could be as good as Unreal Engine 4's graphics, right? And have that be a real-time, have that be a rendering engine for movies, but without, you know, the minutes per frame timeline, because video game engines are like frame per second, right? So if you have a really good, oh, it's 10:30. Okay. If you have a really good rendering engine, then instead of, you know, having a animation take whatever, if you get frame per second, you're good, right? It will not look as good as I said, but it'll probably be, you know, could be better quality than, it'll definitely be better quality than OpenGL render. Could be better quality than Blender internal in some cases, but it would be like that, right? They said they really wish the installer could ask whether or not you want those features installed, and the interface could be drastically simplified without the error stuff. The error stuff is different for each user. Okay, so as I was gonna say as well, what Blender can do is actually pretty nuts. So like you have this, you know, camera system, and you can have it be like that. As I was saying, well, there's also a video editor. So there's a full kind of Premiere style movie editor built in here, and you can place down audio tracks. So let's actually find a audio track here. Add sound. Let's see if I can find one that I can use. I'll use this here. So if you have this here, you can have a video editor, and when you start pressing play,
Crossfire and SLI allow games to...
And if you have a movie playing in here, so yeah, you have a full video editor. So if you wanted to, instead of using Adobe Premiere or After Effects, you can use Blender to do your video editing, and then after that you just output through a MOV. It was funny because I was on a Linux Gamecast a couple months ago, and I was asking them, you know, on Linux, what do you guys use for video editors? I know there's several of them. VLC, the video player has another program, I can't remember what it's called, that is for video editing as well. I can't remember what it's called. Or Blender, and people in the chat were like, Blender's not a video editor, it's a 3D editor. It's a video editor. It has a video editor too, right? Mostly designed for compositing with After Effects and whatever. But it has a video editor in it, right there. You can do it for that. They have a lot of things, and it's probably not too easy to go and pull stuff out. They are doing a workflow release, so Blender 2.8 is actually supposed to work on making it streamlined for the common use cases. And that's kind of what they're even thinking of breaking changes, like changes that may break compatibility, to move it forward. But as it stands right now, I mean, Blender, you have a type of After Effects in it, combined with the video sequence editor and video movie clip editor, that can do like camera tracking, compositing. Compositing is done by a node editor, so in the node editor you'd go here, and then over here you change it to compositing nodes, and then you would add it here. So this would be your render layers, so you have your render layers here, and then you'd be able to do a RGB curve on them and add them together and mix them and stuff. It's nutso how this would work, right? But you can end up doing something you do in After Effects in Blender. You can do a lot of different things in Blender. There's a game engine in there, as you guys have been mentioning as well. There's a lot of crap in Blender, right? So it's more than people realize is the main thing. I guess it doesn't matter how much, except the initial learning curve. Blender seems to load and run incredibly smooth and fast, even with all the other stuff they might not use. Yeah, some people say that the ability to handle large poly counts and large scene sizes may not be that good. I'd say that'd be a bit more of an issue for CAD CAM. And despite me saying that Blender's going nuts, trying to support everything in the world, it doesn't seem like they're going too much in the CAD CAM direction. They seem to be going more in the video production, video editing and stuff. I'm actually wondering if they're ever going to end up doing a Photoshop competitor or GIMP competitor in here. Although they probably just use GIMP or Paint.net or something like that. Inkscape, but that'd be more for vectors. Anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff in Blender that doesn't quite make sense. If you're, it's not branded. Well, not to make sense. It's not branded too well. It's a lot of features you wouldn't expect would be in there, but they're in there and they work. And you can just switch over your viewport to use it, right? But yeah, it also runs really smooth and fast too. Again, I'm not sure how it scales to large scenes. I heard some people complain about it, but yeah. It's interesting. So over here, ensure completion, stop and wait for completion, so let's keep going. Void FAIRunnable, ensure completion. Stop thread, wait for completion. FChessAIRunnable. Sorry, FAIRunnable. Spawn worker. No. Have I heard of Pixar RenderMan? Yeah, of course. That's the rendering engine that Pixar and Disney have used for the last 20 some odd years. 20 years? 20 years? Do I know of anyone who used it? I've seen some people use it on like YouTube videos and stuff like that. It's a very interesting system that's really good for very large scenes. Yeah, it's It's interesting in that it starts off with rasterization. Actually, they added ray tracing in fairly late. It was like Cars, I think, was the first movie to use it. So before Cars, it didn't ray trace at all. But it does, triangle rasterization and stuff like that. So, yeah. But it has a bunch of interesting shading models in it, and it's constantly being updated too. And as a matter of fact, they made a non-commercial, a free non-commercial version available, which is obviously good for them to get people hooked in. So when they go to an actual commercial studio, they're gonna be buying a license, right? Yeah. It's kind of the industry standard, right? What did I... Oh, I jumped it. Whoops. Forgot to add stop. F plat... Or, sorry, oops. Stop task counter. So, if not singleton, so if singleton's null, and F platform process supports multi-threading, singleton equals new FChessAIRunnable, or sorry, FAIRunnable. Return singleton. So it returns a pointer of itself. That's static. Void chess FChessAI or FAIRunnable. Oh, whoops. Yeah, if Visual Studio was only a little bit faster, it'd probably be a much better system for me. Still doesn't support a lot of stuff that I want, especially in web standards. So that kills the static thread we create. Bool FChessAIRunnable is thread finished. If singleton turn singleton is finished. Return true. So void FAIRunnable begin AI. And that should be it. So if we close this down, it should build. And that will be where we stop today. And it doesn't build. Oh, it's... No, it's right. Oh, I missed something here. There was a function here called it's finished. We'll make sure there's no other. It was a pure header file function. It was never in the. Yeah. So it's purely in the header file. So now we add it to our header file. Doesn't really matter where we're gonna put it, but I'll put it roughly where it is. Cool. B is working. There we are. Now that should build. Okay. So we now have the structure of the thread. So we can create a thread and have it crunch work in the background to find out what the best move is at any given time. We don't currently start it or give it work, but it will give us some function. So right now it still just gives up its turn because I haven't hooked it in yet. But we still have what we have here, which is fire explosions. Which is always a good thing when they're not happening to you. And the AI is still getting up its turn. So next time we're going to continue on with this and initialize and run the thread on game start and kick off the thread with every QAI turn. And then on some tick, probably game mode tick, maybe game state tick, one of the two. Look for the response that it gives and have that be our move, and then cue that move in as if it was made by whatever player. So, see you next time. Thanks for watching.